marks exactly a year since I purchased this property. I need to make this video quickly because, girl, I need to celebrate properly. In celebration of this occasion, I decided to get some takeaways from Nando's and Debonaire's because I really just wanted to do this with the pizza. And of course, Nando's. And of course, a Coca-Cola. I mean, what is a celebration without a Coke? One for me, one for God. Cheers. So good. Today's Q&A is going to be centered around the buy versus build debate. And this does not constitute as professional advice. This is just my personal experience, so keep that in mind. I've had the privilege of doing both, building and buying. And what I can say is I prefer buying than building, only because it's so much more convenient to buy. For me, the stress that was involved in building was just so much that I'm just like, I remember during the time that I was building, I was just like, is this even worth it? Is this effort and energy and mental strength needed? Like, is it all worth it? Do I really need to put myself through such strain? You know, it just felt like it just wasn't worth it. And I just kept thinking, oh my gosh, I really just wish I could have bought a piece of property, because it was really stressful. And I think stressful is really an understatement. And I think maybe because it was my very first project and I really had no idea what I was doing. And maybe in future projects, I'll definitely have more experience and I will know better, I will have more information and I will have more expertise with me, probably. Wink wink, husband, future. I will hopefully by then I will do things in a more systematic way, so I might then have a much better experience. But hey, my first experience, yeah, no, that wasn't fun at all. Yeah, of course there are things I liked about the building experience, but overall, if I were to be asked without batting an eyelid, without flinching, I would say buying rather than building. I would say buying for me. Buying, it's a buying, it's a win. Well, I think the biggest disadvantage with buying is that it's much more expensive, because it goes without saying that the seller wants a profit, so they put it in there in the selling price. So that's the biggest disadvantage. So obviously it's going to be much cheaper to build a house for yourself. But then I think the other interesting one that I never thought about was that, you know, when you buy a house from someone, you have no control over the kind of material they use. Now take a brick, for example. I never knew that it matters which kind of brick is used. When I was building my house, because I literally didn't know anything, I did say, I didn't pay attention to which kinds of bricks were used. My builder just built the house and I just saw the house being built, and apparently he was using block bricks as opposed to the 6.5 thing, the smaller ones. So the block ones are the bigger ones with spaces inside, or with spaces inside. And so those ones, when it comes to now drilling into the wall, installing things like geysers, it matters. That's where you're gonna see the significance of it all. So what happened was that at my rental house, the one that I built, we had used, because the block bricks were used, when we had to install the geyser, there was a problem with the drilling, because they said that the geyser is so big that it might be overwhelming for the wall, because the bricks that were used were the block ones. And so when they were drilling the geyser into the wall, it was reaching parts of the brick or the wall that had space in it, and so it meant that the screw wasn't able to hold really well, and so it was so likely that the geyser could end up falling off. Like, I never thought about that. Like, it never crossed my mind. And so I also saw this happening when I was getting reinforcement on my windows at the rental house, and they were drilling into the wall, and I could see, like I could hear even as he was drilling, and it was just getting into these spaces and was not able to be done well, and they had to have like extra cushioning for the screw to hold. So the kind of brick that is used matters. And so I feel like with building, you have control over that kind of stuff, but then with buying, you have no control. Well, the thing that I don't like about this property is the open kitchen. Well, I mean, I do get it that small spaces, you know, they work really well with open kitchens. So, I mean, I did the same with my rental property. I mean, it goes without saying that it saves space, money, and all of that stuff. But the main problem is that, you know, the smells collide. Because imagine my diffuser and then the bin. You can imagine the scenario. And there is this other time that I cooked some canned fish. And, well, it's safe to say that the following day at work, it was easy to know what I had last night for dinner. Not cool. I also don't like the fact that my living room is not as well lit as the other parts of the house. I really love light in a house, and I guess this is because of the orientation of the house, and that's the other thing that you don't have any control over when you buy a house. But my bedroom is well lit and it receives a lot of sunlight, and I'm happy with that. So at least I can spend some good you know, moments in there. Saturday mornings, really nice. Afternoon, the sun comes in. Evening, like I receive a lot of sunlight there. I actually asked the agent when I was buying this property, I was like, you know, my biggest priority is light. Like, I need to have light. So can you pick the apartment for me that receives the most light? But I guess we still couldn't do much with that because most of them don't have, like, every, like, at least one room is compromised when it comes to light. So oh well. But one thing I love about this apartment is the floors. I love the floor. It gives wooden floor vibes, and that's pretty much the reason I chose this apartment in the first place. That's the first thing that I saw that I fell in love with when I came for the viewing. You know, because I've always been obsessed with wooden floors, and I had exactly that in my first property, the one that I built. I chose wooden floors. Regardless, I didn't even want to hear what they said about durability, what, the water is what, you know, whatever. I just knew that I wanted that because when I see wooden floors, I think Pinterest, like the aesthetics. So that's the reason why I chose this property, because of the floor. I also love the balcony. It's so cool, and I am soon gonna be revamping it and just giving it some va-va-voom. And I would love to partner with Corey Craft, by the way, because it has like amazing furniture. I saw this very nice piece of furniture for the balcony. It was about 7,000 bula. I mean, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I'm gonna show you like the whole makeover. I'm gonna show you. Oh, and I can't possibly forget the security. That's my other favorite. In fact, that makes the first item on the list of my favorite things about this place. I can literally sleep with my door open on the hottest nights because it's so secure. This is a gated community, and I can sleep peacefully with my door open. And I mean, it's just like, I feel like that's the most important thing to look for when you buy a house to live in, or whether you build or whatever. Just the location that you choose, that's the first thing you should be looking for. How secure is the place? Because you don't want to be sleeping and when you hear a sound, every time you hear a sound, your heart races. So where I live right now, even if I can hear the loudest sound, I'll be like, probably the neighbor passing, you know. I don't think, oh my gosh, maybe it's a thief. So I feel like that's so important to me, and I really love it about this place. The last bonus question is, do I regret taking a mortgage? And the answer is nope, I do not. You know, there's this thing that we like to say in our government offices, that if you have a big take home, that is your net salary, and you don't commit it, like, what are you planning? Or like, what are your plans? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what we can saying, you know? So that's a common thing that you'd hear, you know, spoken about amongst ourselves. This is just to say that if you have a large net salary, make sure that you commit it so that you know that it's going somewhere, because an uncommitted salary usually is prone to being misused. But this is not for everybody. Some people are really disciplined and are able to take that large salary and just save it and do something amazing with that. So if you know you can't trust yourself to save, like I know that I have weaknesses when it comes to that, yeah, I think that it's a good idea to take a loan or a mortgage and build something or buy something like a house, and just let the bank do the job for you of just deducting, and then you just remain with the rest to spend and do whatever. And so you spend knowing that the other money has been deducted and is paying off something, paying off the loan, you know. And I just think that it's just, you rest better, you sleep better at night. I mean, here I am, right? Like I like the idea, and I know that even while I'm on this mortgage, I'm also trying to find other means of making income to try and boost that and pay it off in a shorter time. And that is a wrap. I thank you so much for watching to the end. Thank you so much for partaking in my celebration of my 1-year anniversary being a homeowner, or just okay, or being a homeowner of an apartment, which is super special to me because like that's a dream come true. And just thank you so much for liking, commenting thus far, and please do subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. You mean subscribe, you know, just to make my day. All right, thank you so much for watching once again. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.